Hello traders, my name is Tomasz Wiśniewski. I'm a chief analyst in Alpari Research and Analysis, and this is daily analytical report where I will show you the best trading setups on the market, and we will talk a little bit about the fundamentals as well. First we have to start with the calendar as always, and on the calendar we have trade balance from China. As you can see, export is much higher than expected. Imports is lower. Trade balance much higher than expectations. That's maybe, well, that's for sure another stage of trade wars started recently between United States and the rest of the world, with a big part of China in this play. In almost 4 hours, we do have an interest rate decision in Eurozone. It is expected that the interest rate will remain unchanged, well, Mario Draghi is expected to strike a cautious tone, especially given the recent surge in economic uncertainty. That is a quote from CNBC, but it's funny because Mario Draghi is always very cautious. ECB is not using any heavy weapons on the market. For the past few years they are very, very calm, cautious, careful, so I don't see a reason why it shouldn't be again like that. And using the explanation about this trade wars and economic uncertainty, that is a bit too much, I would say. Other than that, we have speeches from Bank of Canada. Bank of Canada Governor Mr. Paulos will have a speech, so definitely an important one. One of the main news is Bitcoin going down again below $10,000. It is because of the one exchange that is reporting problems with transactions, and also we do have a SEC, which is a finance authority in United States, warned about risks surrounding such exchanges. And this exchange is Binance. Their social media account announced that they temporarily disabled withdrawals and that's a quote, investigating reports of some users having issues with their funds. Our team is aware of investigating the issue as we speak. Our team is aware and investigating the issue as we speak. So that created a drop on Bitcoin, but this drop was anticipated, and we are telling you about that yesterday, that as long as we stay below $11,000, south is the more probable direction here. So that will be it. We'll have some results being published on stock exchanges. Actually, European stock exchanges are very, very calm at the beginning of the day. Well, we just started trading, but the thing is that sometimes the volatility at the very beginning of the session is high, but this time is different. It's very low. We have few companies from Germany that will give their results, and UK as well. One of the biggest companies like G4S. Aviva, Hugo Boss, Continental, Merck, AkzoNobel. Okay, so let's start with the analytical part, with the technical analysis. And let's start from the dollar index, because they finally defended this horizontal support. I said that once they will break this line, the buy signal will be created. So yes, here we are. We do have a buy signal on the dollar index. It is not convincing for me, but the support was defended. The price failed to go lower. We broke midterm downtrend line. So we should see the movement at least here. So to 89.9 points. If we would see the FIBOs, or even higher, even to 38.2 to 90, to a psychological barrier of 90. So what's the situation here on a dollar index? Situation is bullish, and there are bigger chances of an upswing here, and the price is aiming 90 points. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin tried to break $11,000 many times. Here. So at the second part of January, at the second part of February, and most recently at the beginning of March. All those tries were unsuccessful, which only strengthened this area and makes it super important. I will even change the color for red to show the danger for the sellers, for the buyers, and I will change this for yellow because this is $10,000. It is also very important. The second part of January and throughout February and now. And the current target for the Bitcoin after bounce from 11,200 and breakout of the 10,000 is 8,700, this green area. So this is the first target. What will happen next? We'll see. But breakout of the 8,700 should lead us to the support here on 5,900. Okay, so once the support will be broken, we should aim $6,000 for one Bitcoin. The buy signal is not there as long as we stay below this red area. American dollar to Japanese yen. It looks like the sell momentum is gone. It looks like it's a bit too much for the sellers. They are struggling to push the price any lower, which actually increases the chances for a breakout. Once the price will get here, above the midterm downtrend line and above this horizontal support, we should get a major buy signal here. S&P 500. Yesterday, indices had quite a good session. It wasn't the best on the record, but especially in Europe, major supports were defended. In S&P 500, it does not look so great. From the technical point of view, it looks better for the buyers because the price is still higher. But technically, the situation here is not very interesting. I don't like how the chart looks here. So I would prefer the price. Well, I would prefer to see more technical setups on S&P 500. So just for the record, as long as we stay above the green area, the sentiment is positive. Australian dollar to Canadian dollar, so there was a chance for this correction equality pattern, but they failed. Okay, there is this one is much bigger, well, a bit bigger, right? Still significantly to cancel the correction equality pattern. So this scenario is off the table. Not correction equality pattern, impulse equality pattern. So the thing is that the correction equality pattern is tradable because you wait for the end of the correction and then you go with the trend. But impulse equality pattern means that you have to go against the main trend, which is not welcomed, which is not the best idea in the world. So it is interesting, impulse equality pattern, but this technique is less tradable than the correction equality pattern. Anyway, if the price will continue to go down, we have a nice support where the price can stop the downswing, and the support is here. New Zealand dollar to American dollar. That is still a positive sentiment, even despite this drop here. There's no buy signal, but the sentiment is kind of positive. Still. Yesterday we got a bounce from this horizontal support. We got a kind of a buy signal, but it was denied. So the situation here is not the best to open a long position, but if I had to trade, I would still go long, mainly because of the situation on a daily chart where we defended this horizontal support here. Now we will see two European indexes, which were in a very dangerous situation recently, because we are still fighting to defend 7,100 points on FTSE and 11,900 points on DAX. Situation yesterday wasn't the best on the record, as you can see. We were struggling this is H4. We are struggling to defend this. The price opened very, very low, especially at the end of the session. We got a reversal here. But at the end of the day, it looks like the support was defended, which is promising for the buyers, especially the daily candle from yesterday. Looks good, it looks right. Today, now we keep the positive sentiment alive. And the outcome stays the same as it was yesterday and as it was in a few during several days recently. So as long as we stay above 7,100 points, the sentiment is definitely positive. Well, definitely. It's still good. It's still good. Price staying above this level keeps the bullish hopes alive. That's the outcome. The same is with DAX. Price being above 11,900 points is still good. So this signal from a daily chart, when the price created a bullish engulfing on a daily candles, this buy signal is on still. It was confirmed 2 days ago. It was defended yesterday with the lower open, but the price managed to climb higher. Only problem here is this resistance 111. As you can see, 3 tests recently. It's on 12,250 points, let's say 70. So there is a positive sentiment because we defended this horizontal support, but the buy signal will be created once the price will get there. So I'm looking forward for that. And that will be another confirmation of the daily of the bullish engulfing on a daily chart. American dollar to Canadian dollar. Yesterday we had an interest rate decision from Canada. This is it. That's why I'm not the biggest fan of trading interest rate decisions and being on the market in that day, because the price is just getting stupid. Actually, I can remove this because the price just violates this. Fibonacci's. Well, yes, let's remove Fibonacci's too. And we have to adjust the supports resistances to the current situation. So here we have a resistance, horizontal one. And here we have a support. So the sentiment is positive, but there's no trading signal. Well, we bounced from the horizontal support, so we should see the movement towards the resistance. I think we also have to adjust. Oh, we need to remove this here. I wish we bounce from here. But anyway, as long as we stay above the green support and uptrend line, the sentiment is positive. Breakout of those two should trigger us a sell signal, which is currently less likely to happen. WTI continues the sideways trend. Not much is happening. That's a head and shoulder formation, but I don't think it will play a big role here because it's not on the top. Head and shoulder to be significant, it should be placed in, it should be formed in other place. We are at the end of the sideways trend, and that's the place where head and shoulders are not very, shouldn't be respected as normally. Australian dollar to New Zealand dollar. What we have here is a sideways trend. Situation kind of similar to American dollar to Canadian dollar. As long as we stay above the gray area, there's a positive sentiment in the short term. Price staying below orange area is a negative sentiment in the short term, which gives us a neutral sentiment. In the long term, there is a downtrend, so there is a sell signal, especially on a daily chart where we broke the neckline and defended the neckline as the closest resistance with a shooting star. That was a beautiful setup. On a weekly chart, it also looks more bearish, that after the sideways trend we should see a breakout of the lower gray area and we should see a further downswing. American dollar to Swiss franc. So that wedge was a trend continuation pattern, so we should see a downswing. For the record, the wedge is still there, but the situation is getting dangerous. So actually we are playing this scenario which we showed you of inverse head and shoulder formation, right? That's, we highlighted the principle there, not the precise path. Principle is that we have a left shoulder head and a right shoulder here, and once the price will break the neckline, we'll get there, we will have a buy signal on American dollar to Swiss franc, and this will be quite important one because it will be created from a head and shoulder which was developing few weeks. The thing is that, as you can see, I placed Fibos here. So the neckline in the same time will be, I need to get this checkpoint, will be 38.2. So for the buy signal, I would wait for the price to close above 38.2 first. Because 38.2, you know that 38.2 usually is a very strong resistance. Euro to British pound. Daily chart, not the best candle on the record. Well, we are above the horizontal support, fair enough. But this candle from yesterday looks ugly. The thing is that as long as we stay above the blue area, there's still buy sentiment, buy signal. Yeah, buy signal. I wouldn't enter this formation. Why? Because I prefer to stay without a position when there is at least one thing which I don't like. And I don't like the shooting star on a daily chart. So I wouldn't enter there. But we broke the resistance, dynamic horizontal one, price making higher highs and higher lows, so definitely there is a positive sentiment here. There are some grounds to open long position, but for me it is not significant enough. Silver locked in a sideways trend. You can see that we have quite a lot of those sideways trends. Here, right, sideways trend, sideways trend, sideways trend. So we're having quite a lot of them, which is good, not for now, but for the future. Because once we'll have a breakout, we'll have a proper trading signal. Sideways trend here, American dollar to Singaporean dollar, which is trading ultra technically for the past few weeks. Closed in a boring sideways trend in a pennant, and here we have to wait for the breakout, either of the green area or the lower line of the triangle. New Zealand dollar to Canadian dollar, that was a good call from us. Look at that. Breakout of the 50% FIBO, horizontal resistance, test, double tested as a 50 as a support with uptrend line, and this upswing was very super technical. British pound to American dollar cable, a sideways trend. We are inside of the wedge, blue line, red line. As long as we are above the horizontal support, uptrend line, and inside of the wedge, long-term sentiment is positive, but I would love to see the price testing lower levels before going higher. Because price testing the major uptrend line and a major support before going higher would only increase the momentum and further probability of success. British pound to Japanese yen. Well, luckily I'm out of the position because the price is with profit, obviously, because the price does not want to go down. Still negative sentiment because we broke the lower line of the wedge and we broke the horizontal support, and then we stay below, so it's used as a resistance, fair enough. But to be honest with you, it's not what everybody's expecting here, right? Yes, the price is still below, but I think that traders would love to see the price much higher. And the price is not going higher, so which is not lower. I'm sorry, lower, which is not the best situation for the sellers. Once the price will get just few pips higher, 90 pips, well, which for British pound to Japanese yen is not a lot, but price getting 90 pips higher cancels this back in the day strong sell signal, especially here, and creates a false breakout pattern and opens us a way towards new highs, new local highs. Euro to New Zealand dollar, that is also a boring sideways trend for the past few days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We cannot get out of the range of 120 pips, but price getting here above the yellow area, that will be a major buy signal, and price getting there can increase the momentum for us significantly, and maybe possibly we can get a move towards those highs, which will be almost 300 pips from here to 170. And now to one of the most important and most popular instruments. First one is euro dollar, which unfortunately also is in a sideways trend that is super boring, and the sideways trend continues. Actually started in the middle of January, which makes me sad, because before that euro dollar was super technical. It was a pure pleasure to trade euro dollar. Look, and I did trade. I made some nice profits on euro dollar. Upswing, flag, upswing, flag, upswing, flag, upswing. Profit. Those were two awesome trades. There was a flag here as well. Upswing, correction, upswing. But now what's that? That's a boring sideways trend, and I hate that. I got used to trade the euro dollar. I didn't like this pair before. Now I remember why. But for some time, as you saw, this pair euro dollar was moving super technically, and it was a pure pleasure to trade this. What's the situation here? As long as we stay above this gray area, maybe I will change the color not to confuse you. Above the blue area, the sentiment on euro dollar is still positive. Euro dollar will be strongly influenced today because of the interest rate decision and press conference from ECB. So remember, stay ultra cautious today and be careful for huge movements. Not only on euro dollar, obviously on every pair with euro. Gold. I'm a fan of gold. I have a long position on gold after this hammer bouncing from the horizontal support here. Position is already on profit. I think my stop profit order is here. Maybe it will be activated soon, because the recent developments on gold are not very good, because the price, instead of breaking this resistance, aims lower. But what's that? This is inverse head and shoulder formation, left shoulder head and right shoulder. This can be potentially super buy signal, like a very good one, long-term buy signal, aiming highs from the July 2017. I count for that. Well, I wouldn't like my stop profit to get activated. Obviously, it's money. But instead of earning like few hundreds of euros, I would prefer to earn few thousands of euros, and that would happen once the price would break the gray area. So here we still have chance for an inverse head and shoulder pattern, major inverse head and shoulder pattern, which can give us potentially a super profit here. But for that, we need to defend this green area first. And after the breakout of the green area, sentiment in long term still would be positive, because the major support here is $1,307 per ounce. Is this blue area here. As long as we stay above, the sentiment is positive. Okay, thanks very much for watching Daily Analytical Report. I hope you enjoyed that, and in the meantime, visit our Twitter account and our website alpari.news, and also in half an hour we'll have a webinar about technical analysis, and I hope you will attend this webinar. So see you in half an hour.